Hi, Richard and Manisa. Time for a little update. This is, of course, the game room, if you will. I don't know if you remember, but we had to take a hammer and knife to the windowsills. So they're a little worse for wear, but everything's back in. I think this is the window too. Had a cracked pane of glass or double pane, so I'm not too worried. But anyway, I thought I'd step up the foaming, spray foam insulation, but it kind of crushed the window a little, and it was all we could do to get the sashes back in. I don't know if this is it or not, but anyway, one of these had bulged the jam liners in a little bit. Okay, we got the back door, and a couple of things to say about this. The old oak threshold was out of the piece of wood, most of it out of the old house, but it had started to go bad. So I had some new oak, but all in pieces. So I ripped it and glued it, and got a nice new threshold. And that raised the door a little bit because I didn't drop it down, and it needed to be taller for the storm window. Then the hinges had all rusted. They were kind of old, so painted the hinges, but they're so worn, the door hangs a little crooked, so I'm going to go ahead and probably replace the hinges. That seems to be where the problem is. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of a big gap at the top. Kind of a little bit of hanging, crooked. And then the door actually hits the striking plate. So I think new hinges will fix that. But anyway, we got that. Now there is, so I mentioned we raised it. So I think once I get new hinges, I'm going to add a strip to the bottom of the door. You can see it's not necessarily parallel, but it's such a big gap that I'm going to go ahead and close it up before I put a door sweep on the bottom. I'll probably put some good door seals around the jambs to stop the cold winter air coming in. All right, now on the unfinished side, these windows had never been painted, and we should have done a before picture, and I got a little bit smarter about the foam, so we went real gentle with the foam, and we've been stuffing fiberglass in. So anyway, we're thrilled that these look so nice. Ready, we went ahead and decided these would be the brown color or the red, the old, what we called the red color from the old house. That's one thing I wasn't sure what to do. Of course, it needs trim and windowsills, but we'll wait till this room is finished. Then we can go outside. Next job, Teresa says, is start straightening the barn out and get this wood rack out of the basement. All right, are you busy yet? So, now you know I really do have the windows finished. So we got all the mortaring done. Actually today we got the light fixture back in. We'd broken a couple of those little trim tubes. It'd come loose, and then I tried soldering something, and the hinge fell apart, so I had to make a new hinge. Learn how to solder that. I used a micro torch. Actually, I bought it for Teresa for doing desserts. So we're pretty pleased. Got a little clear
caulk between the bricks and the fiberglass there, and Richard and I had talked at length about that snap-in trim piece. I had the screws, and man, I had a rough time with that on this particular door, but anyway, everything looks real good. Now, you probably don't remember, but when the masons laid this up, there was one block that was exposed, and so down there, those 3 bricks, we sawed those just a ½ inch thick so they could kind of be like a tile or a veneer, and so that's more finished than it's ever been, so that's kind of nice. Now, we've just got one storm window, and we've moved that around to kind of keep the bugs from coming in. So we'd go ahead and mount the window frame in the opening, put the storm window in real quick, and then I could work on the sashes, sash liners, and all of that. So it's not perfectly clean, and if Richard remembers, 2 of them just fell apart when we took them out. And the mortar doesn't look that great. Some of the gaps, the bricks were a little lower, so we replaced this brick in this case, and so Teresa thinks if I clean it with acid that it'll match better, but I kind of hate to get acid around the windows. Anyway, that's it. We wouldn't have gotten it done without such a good start from you guys helping us out. Can't thank you enough. Now, up above, the gaps not closed a whole lot. Of course, here, this is probably the worst of the old gap, not down here at least, but in other places it's closed up pretty good. You really can't see much of a gap. So once we got the iron out and let it settle for a while, it worked pretty good. So I'm still planning to run a cable through the attic and hopefully pull the ends in a little bit. Probably let it go all winter and into the spring some. Oh, the little kitty. Thanks again. Talk to you later. Bye.